Life as a parent is nonstop. I'm so focused on keeping my family healthy that I barely have time to take care of myself. If this sounds like you, then you need to give Symbiotica a try. Symbiotica is a health and wellness company that empowers individuals to take ownership of their health with high-quality formulas and supplements crafted to boost energy, immunity, gut health, and more. Symbiotica supplements are made with clean, natural ingredients, and they don't contain any toxins or artificial ingredients. Because they were designed for us, busy parents. They're quick and easy to take. Just a daily dose for your energy, immune system, and overall well-being. It's made staying consistent so much easier. And the best part? Symbiotica is having their holiday sale, so now's the perfect time to put your health in the driver's seat. Head to Symbiotica.com for 20% off with code GIFT20. That's CYMBIOTIKA.com with code GIFT20 for 20% off. Your health transformation journey starts now. Symbiotica Natural and Organic Supplements.
The following is a GoPowerCat.com and Spirit Street production. You've discovered your link to GoPowerCat.com's PowerCat Overtime podcast, presented by Fridge Wholesale Liquor, and it starts right now. Now, let's go to the WTC Gig-Powered Studios. Here's your host, GoPowerCat.com publisher, Tim Fitzgerald.
Welcome to another edition of the Overtime, the PowerCat Overtime podcast, brought to you by Fridge Wholesale Liquor. We are in our homes. Young Mr. Gilbert has returned from Sedona, where he channeled positive vibes with crystals and probably stuff we don't want to talk about. How was Arizona, Ryan Gilbert?
It was good. It was fun. Fun to hang out and relax and, go on some hikes. And you guys, guess who I saw on one of my hikes? He's a basketball player for Kansas, and he redshirted last year.
Gandhi. Hold on, he's not a basketball for Kansas. He's a basketball.
Bill Self's son?
No, that's a good guess though. Very close.
I have no idea. Who?
Mitch Lightfoot.
Oh, yeah, he's from Arizona.
Yeah, he seems like a good guy. He was nice, but I looked at him. I was like, is that
Prison Mitch?
It was Prison Mitch. Yeah.
I'm just going to be blunt here. Is his head kind of awkwardly shaped for the rest of his body in person?
Yes. I noticed that. And he was wearing a hat and sunglasses too, so I wasn't sure at first, but sure enough.
Well, good for him. The other guy.
Has your gift arrived yet, Fitz?
No, I don't think so. No.
All right. It'll be coming.
No, okay. The other voice you heard there was Zach Carlson. Zach, did we miss Ryan when he was gone?
Maybe slightly. But we had another Ryan that filled in. We had a body double.
Ryan Black. And we didn't talk NASCAR. Missed opportunity on our part.
Okay, got Truex on the outside here. This is where he restarted last time. This has been a pretty good lane to restart in. Can the inside line do anything? We got somebody new up on the inside. What's he going to do? Da-da-da-da. You got such and such in row 2.
Because that turned into a big story. I'd like to apologize. By the way, I'm Tim Fitzgerald. I'd like to apologize to my sidekicks here. I was about 15 minutes late starting this Zoom because after grilling hot dogs on my Traeger, just an obvious plug there for Traeger, I got sucked into a documentary about Queen with Adam Lambert.
How do you think you're gonna get along without you had it gone? You took me for everything that I had and kicked me out. Are you satisfied? How long can you stand to heat it? Out of the doorway, the bullets to the center of the knee.
And it was so compelling I couldn't stop. So compelling. So I watched that. I think now I want to actually go watch Queen with Adam Lambert. They sound incredible together.
So you're saying that the floor for our excuses for being late is a Queen documentary that has Adam Lambert and not Freddie Mercury?
Yes.
Okay. Just to be clear, all of our excuses must meet that threshold.
Not much of a threshold, but yes, meet that.
I'll never be late again.
Yeah, it was interesting. That Adam Lambert, he can sing. Man, I tell you what, he's about as good at singing as we are at podcasting.
That's not right.
Okay, that might have been an exaggeration. He's probably almost as good of a singer. Boy, I can't speak. He's probably almost as good of a singer, there we go, as the Fridge Wholesale Liquor is at selling booze. Booze, 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 the kind with which you cannot lose. Get to the fridge. Midge. Kind of ran out of rhymes there, but you get the message. When you're in town, stop at the fridge. Well, been kind of an interesting week in podcasting around here. So we're going to wrap it up probably with an overtime filled with stupid questions asked by wonderful, wonderful people at the website. What wonderful people. And I hope, whether there's a special on or not, more of you will come join Go Power Cat, because it's where the action is. Boy, that sounded like a bad casino ad there.
And if you're listening to this on Friday, we still have 50% off if you join.
Thank you for covering me, because I didn't remember when it ended.
I've got you, Fitz. 50% off. Sign up now by 11 o'clock tonight if you're listening on Friday. If it's Saturday or later,
yeah, sorry.
Too bad.
Some people operate without a net. I have Zach to be my net. You are my net. When I fall,
you're welcome.
You catch me. Let's get going with the questions from Wabash Station. Who's reading? I didn't even know.
I sent them to Gills.
Gills?
I mean, anybody can read them.
Yes, sir.
Gills, here we go.
All righty.
Ryan Gilbert.
From Riley Gates, what is the definitive decision that I need to hear to feel good about going back to the bars? 50% capacity, 75, 100. Basically, I'm healthy, and the governor says I can go to some bars. Am I a scumbag for wanting to go?
No, but it's been interesting. There's more and more studies as they do more and more contact tracing. There's like the 7 places that you're most likely to get it. And it's not grocery stores, where I've been afraid, and places like that, because you're not in contact with people very long. One of them is bars. Anytime you're standing around the same group of people for prolonged periods, if one of them is infected, your chances are going up. So, Riley, here's the good news for you.
Here we go.
People just socially distance from you anyhow. So you can go to the bar. And most people want to stay 6 feet away from you, brother. It's going to work out fine for you. I don't know. I would be nervous about the bars, especially with what happened here in Manhattan. A couple guys, it sounds like, came back to town with the Rona, immediately went to parties and gatherings, and lo and behold, we've got quite an outbreak here, and I think it's about to be announced that it's worse. So, people, it comes down to, you have to be accountable for your own actions, but please be accountable enough for yourself that you worry about others, that you might be infected and you worry about others, because someone didn't, and now a lot of people have it, and now it's, I think, spreading out of the young demographic into a different demographic.
I don't think you're a scumbag for wanting to go, because I went out to Aggieville a couple weekends ago. I think it was the Friday before all the players started coming back, or around that time where they were starting to test everybody. I went out. It was so packed that by the time I went home, I felt uncomfortable about going out. Like, I did not feel like at the end of the night, I did not feel like that was the best decision for me. And sure enough, it comes out, I feel fine, but who knows? Maybe I have it, you never really know. But I think that, it's human nature to want to go out and, go do fun stuff after not doing stuff for 3 months. But I'm certainly swearing off Aggieville for the future. Especially when a lot of restaurants in the area, I'm not going to name names where I've been, but, some places not requiring their staff to wear masks, the bars aren't socially distanced. I don't think we were supposed to be at 100% when I went out, but everything was pretty much full go when it probably shouldn't have been.
That pisses me off.
Gosh sake, watch your language.
I understand that bars want to make money. And I understand, the fire code has limits on how many you can put in there. And the concern is if there's a fire. And really, that's kind of a vague threat. I mean, how many fires during open hours in a bar or restaurant are there? So that's kind of vague, and they kind of ignore it. But this is serious, man. This is a real threat to public health. And just to ignore it as a bar owner, it's pretty shameful. Pretty shameful, and I certainly wouldn't go anywhere near a situation like that. With my situation, I'm not going to any bar or restaurant and hanging out. I'm not going to hang out anywhere where I'm in a confined space with people. Just not going to do it. That's going to be my personal choice until I get a vaccine. I'm not sure. That might be a long ways off. I don't know. Riley, you're not a scumbag. Just don't worry about it. And just understand that at least if you get infected, you won't be close enough to a girl to give it to her. There we go.
He's right, you know.
From KM Wildcat, Fitz, did you ever go tunneling in the steam tunnels under the K-State campus? You are a contemporary of mine. In my freshman and sophomore years, we did it a number of times just for the thrill of exploring them and to avoid getting caught. For Zach and Ryan, or anyone who attended K-State at a much later time, is or was this still a thing?
No, I didn't. I'm claustrophobic, so I wouldn't go down into that kind of confined space. I had fraternity brothers that did it. I said it was pretty cool and pretty creepy. I don't know. I'm just not into going subterranean to run around in steam tunnels.
I'm in the dark here. Do you understand? I'm in the dark.
Which are underneath the campus. The coolest thing about the steam tunnels was you could always tell where they were in the winter when the sidewalks wouldn't freeze because the steam under them would keep them thawed out, and you could kind of follow the path of the steam tunnels because there's no snow on them. Zach, are they still around?
The only time I ever hear of people tunneling is when people such as Cam Wildcat ask, hey, is that still a thing? We used to do that back in the day. And it's like, no, I mean, I don't know anybody that's gone under the tunnels. Yes, I'm aware of the steam tunnels because of questions like this and comments like this, but I don't know anybody that's done it. I couldn't tell you how to get into one. I just haven't looked into it. I'm sure it's probably pretty easy to get in and walk around. I mean, it'd be cool, but...
That sidewalk in front of Ahern was one. So you pop a manhole cover off and down you go. Hard pass from me.
Yeah. I've never heard of these things, so there's my answer. But they sound intriguing.
There you go. There's more things for you to explore on campus.
From King Jim at 77, what's the coolest, most beautiful college campus you've been to outside of the Big 12?
University of Phoenix. Thinking ahead.
I liked Auburn. Trying to think where else I've been that I hated Stanford. Where else would I have been? USC. Vanderbilt is right in the middle of the city, so that's not really, doesn't feel like a campus. USC we didn't really see it because the field was off. I don't know. Missouri, they're not in the Big 12. It's not a bad campus. But my answer would probably be Auburn. It was really cool because all the tailgating was taking place on campus because the stadium's on campus. So, I mean, I've said it before, like people would be tailgating in front of Anderson Hall on the way to Memorial Stadium in case they was still playing there. So that was pretty cool. It was a pretty campus.
Like the Oklahoma State setup?
Yeah. Very nice.
For me, I'd probably say Arizona. That's probably the only campus I actually can think of outside the Big 12 that I've been on and can remember. But I did enjoy Arizona. I think I mentioned that in a thread on Wabash a couple weeks ago. Someone was talking about, I don't know what, but I said that I liked Arizona's campus. I like malls. So Arizona has a nice mall. Oklahoma State has a nice mall. Just big open green spaces with a whole bunch of buildings surrounded by it. It's really cool in my opinion.
I thought you meant a place where you could go to like a shoe store.
In some cases, yes, but in this context, no, It is not.
Thanks for the clarification.
You're welcome.
Also from King Jim 77, if you could transplant a building from another university campus to K-State, what building would you take and where would you put it? He would take Duke's Chapel and put it on the west side of the intersection of North Manhattan and Anderson so students could repent of their sins on their way to and from Aggieville.
That's pretty good. I don't know enough buildings. I really don't. I can't answer this. I'm clueless on. I don't have building envy from anyone. Although there's some pretty cool buildings out there. I wish we had more buildings like that new business building. But is that Fitzgerald Hall? Is that what they named that? They should. The business building, Zach?
Do you have $1 million?
Oh.
Actually, you'd need more than $1 million.
Yeah, more than that.
So now we're not naming things after deserving people, just the wealthy. I see how they hold down the little guy, which is, by the way, the only time I get to say that about myself. So I wish I don't know if I'd
I don't know if I'd steal any buildings in particular, but I'd like redesign the campus probably after Oklahoma State. Have a big mall somewhere. I'd like tear down wherever the nuclear reactor is and then like take that and turn it into a mall, like extend the quad all the way down to Denison, maybe put a nice building at near Denison and just kind of make this long rectangular lawn. So not necessarily a building, but that's what I would do.
So
that's why I like K-State's campus. It's so small. I don't want to make it any bigger than it is.
Yeah. So are we going to get drunk and tear down the nuclear reactor? I think that seems... I mean, in the spirit of tearing things down with which we don't agree, not that I have anything against nuclear power, let's just go tear it down with our bare hands. No, like suits or anything. Let's just tear it down, Zach. Let's be our own people and clear the path. We would like an open quad. We're tearing down the big smokestack with our bare hands and disassembling a nuclear reactor. Naked. We're going to be naked and drunk.
Yeah.
Add a whole other layer.
Can we get rid of the smokestack? I think that's the biggest eyesore on campus.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Unbelievable. When your powers combine, you are somehow even more stupid than the sum of your stupids.
Thank you.
Go on.
And does it provide any value? Like, is it useful?
I don't know. I don't know what we're doing now, if they need the smokestack or not. If we don't really need it, can we just attach a giant barbecue to it and then smoke delicious meats throughout the day? So Kansas State's campus will smell like smoked meat every day of the week. Huh? This is why I have a podcast. It's brilliant crap right here.
You should be the next president of the university, I think.
Probably should. Because when you think of me, you think, that's an academic guy. Hold on. How do you spell academic? A-K. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, people probably... My phone's ringing, man. I'm so popular right now. Now that I got my new iPhone, yeah.
Yeah.
People are all after me here.
You know what's funny about you switching iPhone, Fitz?
Yeah.
So on Monday, you switched over the weekend, right?
Yep.
Okay, so on Monday, they did the Worldwide Developers Conference, and they announced iOS 14, which you'll be able to customize your home screen with widgets. It's literally what Android has, essentially.
I know.
You're going to be back to what you're used to in no time.
It's crazy because as I'm setting up my phone, I'm like, boy, I sure do wish I had my Gmail open. Instead of having to click on the icon to open it, and I wish I had this. And it's like, well, Fitz now has joined iPhone, so we're going to give him all the features that he enjoyed on the Android and didn't want to give up. It's the kind of power I'm swinging with right now. They just switched the whole OS just to fit me, but it's kind of funny. I was happy to hear that.
I really want to start a thread on Wabash just titled Controversy and talk about your screenshot that you posted earlier in the week where it was still on your Android, but you were definitely on your iPhone. Like you have your iPhone set up, but you were on Twitter on your Android taking a screenshot, and it was very suspicious.
I was bouncing between stuff. I was going both ways.
You got two phones.
Yeah. I'm a drug dealer of information. I had two phones. And a pager.
Just put a burner on your first one. Google Voice, man.
Yeah. I just want to have a burner sometimes so I can tell people I'm on my burner.
Just go to a little bodega in New York City and just pick up a $15 phone and a $20 phone card. And
And
do New York City things.
And a sandwich, yeah. Sounds good.
The humans will be right back.
Imagine the softest sheets you've ever felt. Now imagine them getting even softer over time. I'm here to tell you about Boll & Branch sheets. In a recent customer survey, 96% replied that Boll & Branch sheets get softer with every wash. They're made from the rarest organic cotton and designed to get even softer over time. Try their sheets with a 30-night guarantee plus 15% off your first order with code Odyssey. So head to BOLL&branch.com today. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Diets and workouts, you've done the work, so why can't you get to your goal weight? That's because up to 70% of your weight is predetermined by your genetics. So while you've been told that it's all about your willpower, you're actually fighting your biology. Don't do it alone. Found's Doctor Design program uses medication as part of a treatment plan that targets your body's unique biological needs, so that your body works with you and not against you. Take the quiz at joinfound.com to see if Found's weight loss program is right for you.
The ads are done. Speak humans.
From Chris66204, eating contests such as the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest, Hypnotic, or Can't Stand Watching. I think I said that word wrong, didn't I?
Hypnotic
or Can't Stand Watching.
I'm not in. Zach, you're into this kind of crap, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. This is the greatest. This is what the 4th of July is. 4th of July is not about fireworks. It's not about grilling. I mean, technically with the hot dog eating contest, it is about grilling. But 11 a.m. Central, I think, is when it always is. Noon Eastern. I love tuning into ESPN, or sometimes they defer it to ESPN2, which is a shame when they put it on the Deuce. But I love watching the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest at the intersection of Surf and Stillwell in Coney Island, New York. It is the greatest competition that ESPN airs all year.
Whoa.
It is the best.
Whoa. Better than any game of footy that they have on there on the ESPN?
Better than anything, Fitz. Better than anything. And I love, one of my favorite things about it is they will use the same sports science clip that they've used for the last 5 or 6 broadcasts of how Joey Chestnut can put down all these hot dogs.
Does it show his stomach expanding?
It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
But also what's funny about the hot dog eating contest on ESPN is they still use really old, outdated ESPN graphics. ESPN has probably updated their graphics twice since they've redone, at least last time I watched their little counters and their score bugs. It's funny how no one really thinks about it. And then by the time the show the event happens and ESPN's oh, we got to air this. And then they're just well, we got to use all these assets. We didn't make new ones. Oh, well. And they fill up an hour show.
That's funny. We want to televise it. We just don't want to update our stuff. That would take too much effort.
But is Kobayashi in it this year?
No, he won't be in it until he resigns with. I mean, if you watch the 30 for 30, they kind of get into it with how, Major League Eating and him, he didn't want to sign an exclusive contract with that, so he just didn't. So he doesn't show up.
Major League Eating. Wow.
Yeah. You got to be part of the group. It's kind of like being part of the MLBPA. You got to be a part of it.
Fitz, you should join.
I'm not. No. It's kind of weird. Most of the big eaters are little skinny guys. They don't have. They can expand that stomach. I'm just. No. I just enjoy food, not mass quantities. That's kind of gross.
They do regional qualifiers for it. I think there's always one in Thackerville in Oklahoma at the WinStar. So if you want to, if you think you're able to shove down 30, 40 dogs in 10 minutes.
No, I can't.
You could join. I want to try it just to see how many I could eat.
Wouldn't you be miserable for days after that?
Probably a couple.
Oh, God. It's not worth it.
Or just take the laxative before.
Oh.
I mean, it's sponsored by Pepto-Bismol, or it has been in the past.
That's pretty fun.
They've had it up. They've had the Pepto up there for you. Like, I don't know if anybody dips it in there, but I don't think that's very efficient. But, you could.
Okay.
Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Before Fitz throws up over there.
I know.
From I Like Pickles Cat, if you started an autonomous zone, what would you call it, and where would it be?
Probably it has to be the land of Fitz, like the life of Fitz. And our motto would be, we have everything that fits. So it'd be really about me. I mean, there would be like 2 streets, and you could say we're at the corner of Fitz and Gerald. Our cops would be more like the cops you see in the old pizza commercials, the pizza shuttle commercials. That'll maintain law and order.
Oh, put the clip in.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's not going to be the summer of love. We're just going to sit around and drink and cook stuff, and pretty much what my neighborhood does now. I feel like we have no need for police in our street. I mean, the most dangerous my street gets is sometimes we'll get like 4 or 5 kids, and we're talking like 6 and under together, and they form a street gang. And they're not very ferocious. They're just not intimidating at all.
They're more dangerous than Will's fireworks, though?
Will's fireworks are an issue. They are an issue. We've taken a vote on the street to not let him do it this year, but I think he's going to do it.
How many people did this vote involve? Was it one person?
Well, we voted for some people that we know hate them. So most of his immediate neighbors have voted against it. But Will does so many nice things for you, you kind of just give him a day. Like the other day, he came over and he fixed, we have those downspouts that have the tunnel, the little hose that goes underneath the ground. So the downspout doesn't feed the water up by your house. It carries it off into the edge of your property. But one of them got stuffed up. So Will came over and dug it up and got it cleaned out and patched it, and off we go. Or downspout works again. That's Will. He just takes care of stuff. So if he wants to blow some stuff up on the 4th of July, we let him.
Nice. I don't know what I'd call mine. Maybe copy you and just say Land of Zach. I don't know. I'd love to see one in Aggieville, but like not political, like nothing. Just like everyone's like all the bars are open, and you can't come in unless you're going to be drinking.
Well, my friend Toby wants Aggieville to declare independence, like become its own little city.
Oh, like trying to think of an example. There's like an inlet called the Village in Oklahoma City. Yeah. My grandpa used to live there, but it's like, I don't know, about a square couple miles, that it's just, a few neighborhoods, but they have their own police department. Just kind of not part of Oklahoma City, but it is. It's weird.
Very good.
Gills?
Yeah.
I don't think I would have an autonomous zone. Is that my answer?
That's fine.
You like the government and what it stands for.
Yeah. Did you guys ever go to like Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that, and you would go between the aisles and make yourself a little fort? You guys ever do that?
No.
Why were you left unsupervised in a hardware store, Gills?
I don't know. It's not my fault. It's being adventurous.
You had a different.
That's probably where I would start my own autonomous zone. One more from King Jim 77. Let's say you inherit a small farm, 300 or so acres in rural. That's a hard word. I know what it means. Don't get me wrong. I know what it means.
Oh,
in rural. The location is left intentionally vague. There's no house or any outbuildings on the land. What would you do with the land? Would you build a house and continue to farm it, build a business on it, etc.?
I would probably take a really nice part of that and put a house on it. And hopefully there's a pond there, and could have probably not just a house. I'd probably have my compound. I've talked about this. If I'm ever wealthy, I'll have a compound, and like all my friends and relatives can have their houses there at the compound. Just, that'd be our own autonomous zone, basically. And the rest I'd probably just lease out to hunters or something, or just turn it into a natural habitat so the animals can do their animal things.
Would you have would you have a large weapons cache?
No, we wouldn't have religious ceremonies nor large weapons caches. So when I say compound, it's more like Worlds of Fun, which isn't actually the entire world. It's like the compound of fun. Like we're just hanging out.
Did your AC just start again, Fitz?
It's amazing that you guys can hear it so well.
Yeah, I heard it too.
It's like your house shakes and vibrates the microphone or something. That's like the only thing I can think of. But it's just like that one was like the worst I think I've heard. It was just like
because in the past when you complained about it, I've gone back and listened and I can't hear it on the podcast. So it must be the computer.
Oh, what if it's one of those things that's it's like a frequency that only young people can hear and old people can't because their ears are bad?
Could be.
But I don't think that's the case because it's a low pitch. It's not a high pitch.
Yeah. So literally, you guys, if your voices were high enough, you could be talking about me in front of my face and I wouldn't be able to hear it. That's not right.
That'd be painful.
Freaking wrong is what that is.
So back to your compound, though. Yeah. You wouldn't have would you have a band between your members, and would you guys need a drummer, perhaps?
I don't know if I don't know how that works. Maybe that's what I would do.
You could convince the drummer to join the compound.
I would probably put maybe a music venue on it. A big amphitheater on my compound, so we could have music festivals.
Like big speakers playing towards the compound that are playing like weird, crazy noises and rock music.
I think you're
loudly.
Really going in a different direction than I am. You're not going to be the manager of the compound.
Is this going to be near a Big 12 city in Texas?
Probably not. There's a bad track record down there. We won't allow tanks on the property either.
Well, I don't think you get to choose that.
But we'll have a sign that says, "You're welcome to come in, but no tanks. No tanks." It sounds like someone with a speech impediment. No tanks. Okay.
If I had it, I'd hope, like he says the location's intentionally vague, which is fine. I'd hope that it would be near Manhattan or a large enough city. Like, I don't want to be out in, I don't know, Greeley County.
That's all field. Yeah.
Apologies to anybody who listens to us in Greeley County out on the border, but I don't want my 300 acres there. I'd hope that it's close to a city, but I would also hope that it's kind of wooded, but I would build a house, but then I'd also build a golf course. I would build a nice golf course, kind of like those destination courses in Nebraska that are like really secretive out in the sand dunes, that they're just out in the middle of nowhere and there's like barely a clubhouse or anything. I know there's one that's like a country club that like there's maybe 200 members and they're all like from across the nation and the world. Like it's not very many Nebraska locals that play it. Like it's just a secret course almost. But maybe something like that is what I'd build. Just a golf course, top of the line, just out in the middle of nowhere that people want to pay me to join, since it would be my course on my property.
Interesting. Gills, would you live on a 300 acres in the middle of nowhere?
I think I'd go back to the previous question and make that my autonomous zone.
There you go. Declare independence.
Yeah.
300 acres of Gills.
Gill zone.
Gill zone. I like it. Would there be two Z's in there, or does it just run together? Gill zone.
Yeah, it's like PetSmart. Just one S. One Z.
Is it PetSmart or PetMart? PetSmart. Pet. We discussed this one earlier podcast.
I'm pretty sure the pet is in red and the smart is in blue.
So it's not,
or vice versa.
But I still think it could be PetSmart. I don't know.
Pets aren't smart, though. Doesn't make sense.
Yes, mine are. Mine are plotting against me at all times.
From a Contra Cat, what exotic car would you rent to drive around Vegas for a couple days? Is that different from your college-age doppelganger?
What? I didn't get the last part of that. How's it different?
Is it different than what you would drive, like when you were in college?
Oh.
Is your car choice different today than
yeah,
it was in
no
college?
doubt. Back in the day, it'd have been like a Corvette, something pretty predictable for a young guy. But now it'd be like something vintage, a giant pink Cadillac or, something that just really is obnoxious but old school, like Rat Pack kind of stuff, 60s.
Would you consider a classic car like that? Would you consider that an exotic car?
I would.
Because I guess I would consider that a classic car, I guess, in my mind. I think exotic, I think like, am I a rapper that has $1 million to spend on a car? What would I buy? That's an exotic car.
Well, I think exotic means hard to find.
Yeah.
Unique, which would be true of an older vehicle. I don't know. As someone who's quite often been called exotic, I think an old car would fit just perfectly.
I'd go with a McLaren.
Okay.
That would be my Vegas car. Absolutely. I couldn't tell you a model, just whatever they wanted to give me. I would do it.
Okay, so much for the Camry. Yep.
Would they allow me to deliver pizzas in it in Vegas?
Oh, sure. That'd be awesome.
I'll take an Aston Martin.
All right.
That could be your hook. Aston Martin pizza. All your delivery drivers would drive. That'd be funny, actually. Not very cost efficient, but
I feel like half of the people, though, they'd see they wouldn't even notice the car. It'd be so subtle. You know what I mean? Like, yes, it's a nice car, but it's kind of like you don't really see an Aston Martin.
Yeah.
But like it still looks like a normal car for the most part. I mean, it might look a little different, but some people are going to be like, that car looked off a little bit. That wasn't a Camry or an Altima. I wonder what he was driving for that delivery driver there.
Last question of the podcast from Wildcat True. What are your guilty pleasures?
As the guys in the office found out, I'd have podcast Wednesdays. I'd be in there working on the pregame podcast and other podcasts. I'd be in the office all day. So I would have lunch at the little Hy-Vee convenience store where they have, Zach, one of our favorite things in the world, roller meats.
That is a good guilty pleasure. Not mine, but that is a good one.
So I'd have roller meats, which, the hot dogs, brats, those type of things. What are the other things called? The
tornadoes.
Yeah, those things.
The little taquitos.
Taquitos, yeah. I would also get they'd have a cup of pudding. Pudding is one of my guilty pleasures along with roller meat. So I'd roll those, no pun intended, into one wonderful meal. But yeah, that's really those type of things. Sweet tarts. I can start on sweet tarts until my mouth hurts because you've had so much sugar. But you've got to have some great guilty pleasures, Zach.
Well, the one I thought of, because it's sitting right here, and this only happens every once in a while. I mean, like, when it happens, it's a big stretch, but like I can go a couple of years without doing it. But recently, every time I go to Target or Walmart, I go to the baseball card section and I look to see if there's anything that I want to buy. So a lot of times I'll pick up a pack of baseball cards. So I did that, I think it was late April, early May. I had to go to Target for something, and it was like the first time I'd been out of the house in a while. And I was like, hey, let's go check out the baseball cards. Why not? So I go look, pick up some Topps Gypsy Queen packs, and then I became addicted. And now I've spent $300 on Topps Gypsy Queen. And
I've gotten how much are you paying him, Fitz?
I've gotten. He's paying me more now that Riley's gone.
I'm glad it's going to good use. That's great. Wonderful.
So, and what I've gotten into now, and I've realized how bad of a deal this was, but on eBay, you can bid on hobby box breaks. So what a break is you bid on these teams, and whatever you pay, it could be $40. If it's the Blue Jays, they'll go for like 100, 120, something ridiculous because they've got a whole bunch of good rookies, Vladimir Guerrero. But like with the hobby boxes, there's chances of you pulling a lot more autographs and other like cool cards out of it, like relics. But I did a few of those, spent like $100 on each break, and got like 7 teams. So like I spent $200 to get all the cards for 7 teams, but now I have a whole bunch of duplicates. Thank goodness I have the Royals. Like I like collecting Royals cards, but yeah, I realized that's not a great deal. So I've kind of like stopped doing that. Now I'm trying to build my set, which is like a 300 card base set. And I still need like 50 more cards. So I don't really know the best way to do it. I might try finding some people to trade online. Who knows? But yeah, I've gotten really into this. In World Cup years or like big soccer tournament years, I'll do the Panini stickers. So I'll buy tons of packs of those and sit and try to complete an album. I still have like 2 albums from 16 and 18 that I need to get done. But
so hold on. So you go to a restaurant, you buy a panini, and they give you a sticker? Is that how that works? So you get a sandwich and a sticker?
One could think that. But no, Panini, the card making and sticker making brand from Italy.
I like the sandwiches.
Yes, the Italians make great stickers and cards.
Wow, didn't know that about them.
Cups. Yeah, so.
Gills, you're never topping this.
Tradition.
Nope.
You got any guilty pleasures, Gills? Anything?
I mean, going to Quick Trip and grabbing some food is never a good thing. I'm guilty of that, but not that I can think of.
Going into Domino's or Papa John's or Little Caesars in your Pizza Hut outfit.
Oh, gosh.
What's up, bitches?
This happened a few weeks ago. I was at a stoplight, and this Papa John's driver pulled up next to me. He was like, all right, let's settle this right now. Put out his hands to play rock, paper, scissors, and then he beat me. And I was like, hey, 2 out of 3. And then I beat him the next time, but then he finally got me. So Papa John's is better. What can I say?
I thought you were going to race.
Oh, he beat me. He was in a nice truck.
That's funny.
Is Pizza Hut putting you in quarantine for being in Arizona? No comment.
No comment about this.
No comment on.
Technically, well, I guess I did tell them I was there, but other than that, they don't know about it. So, What do you mean Arizona? What are you talking about?
Thousands of people in Kansas City mysteriously ill after eating Pizza Hut pizza. Film at 11.
I can see it now.
That's it? That's it for the podcast?
That's about all we got.
And what we'd like to say is we appreciate all of you for making this one of your guilty pleasures. I forgot to mention Toon Blast, by the way, Zach.
Toon Blast. Do. Have you beaten every level?
I've kind of backed off of it a little bit. I've been playing a ball crusher. That sounded really bad. Okay.
Oh boy.
That's not at all what I thought.
Guilty pleasure, huh?
That was going to sound like. But yeah, no. And well, here's the great thing is I switched phones. I switched operating systems. So I joined my own team again and started over with a second account.
Oh no!
I know.
Just good for you though. Now you can run 2 phones now. You can have 2. You can be both handing it.
Well, I've never been that good. I'll do them separately, but not put an eye out. Thanks for listening to The Overtime. We're sponsored by The Fridge. We'll be back next week with more nonsense. I'll be back next week with The Life of Fitz. I don't know what we're going to do on the Questions podcast next week. We'll just have to find out.
You've been listening to the Power Cat Overtime Podcast, presented by Fridge Wholesale Liquor. Power Cat Podcast. All rights reserved. GoPowerCat.com and Spirit Street Publishing.
With Blue Link Plus, you can access your Hyundai Tucson Limited remotely. Doors unlocked, temperature set, lost car found.
There it is.
Get complimentary class-leading Blue Link Plus. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.